So one of the things I'd say about productivity first is I believe strongly that the only way that working from home works is if you instill your culture remotely. So for me, when I started Jouta, having a very defined culture, very defined values was very important to me. It sets the foundation of who we are at Jouta. And I was not interested in that changing when we started working from home. So we did everything around that on purpose. So when it comes to the way we used to work, how often we used to meet, we kept doing that the same way. We just did it over video. We did it over Zoom before Zoom became a thing. And so would I say productivity, we get so much more work done. You know how much time we used to spend at the water cooler? Just even going for lunch, I made sure that our office had a full stocked kitchen. So everybody would bring lunch to work. But we'd be in there and we'd be talking, and then we'd sit down and we'd have another talk, and we'd walk by each other's offices and we'd pop in and we'd disturb each other. Maybe we weren't intended to disturb, but you know. And it's amazing. I could go through a day and feel like all I did was have conversations with people. And so ever since then, we schedule our meetings. However, one of the things that we do as well is if you want to call me, we use Teams, and so we call on video so that we get to see each other. So it's like we're walking down the hall, and then we click on Teams video and we say hi to each other. We always check each other's calendars and that sort of thing. That's all open and available for us to see if someone's available or not. So I would say productivity has gone up. It certainly has for me. I can get some really good heads down work done in a much shorter time than I ever could before. And you know, one thing though, one of our team members that when we first transitioned over, who I adored and would have loved for her to stay, she just found she couldn't work from home. Didn't feel right for her. She was, she needed to go out and be with people. And so that was an unfortunate thing. She thought she could, but she thought she'd try it and realized she couldn't. So for those that it works for, it's incredibly effective. But again, it has to align with your culture. You have to make sure that however you held people accountable before, you're doing it now. Someone said to me the other day, like, how do I keep them accountable? And I said, well, the same way you do now. And they're like, well, I don't really do it now. And I'm like, okay, well then yeah, you know, it should be the same. Just think of it the same, and you can set it up the same. It doesn't have to be so different. I mean, part of what's important is having the right sort of expectations in place as well, so that you know whether or not people are getting the work done that they need to do. I trust fully that anyone associated with Jouta is getting their stuff done because I know what they have to do, and they either do it or they don't. So I think it's really about being clear about what needs to get done.